It was just past midnight when Lena went down to the basement. Just to get the laundry, nothing more. Something she had done 100 times before. But this time the door fell shut behind her. The light went out. And when she found the switch and the neon tubes flickered to life, the basement was no longer the same. The hallway stretched out before her, longer than it should have been. The storage cages on either side cast shadows that moved, even though nothing was moving. The air smelled of damp concrete and of something else. Something sweet that she couldn't place. Something that didn't belong here. Her phone had no signal. Of course not. Not down here, between reinforced concrete and earth and things that had been forgotten. At the end of the hallway, the corridor turned right. Lena had never been there before. In 3 years of living in this building, never. But now there was no other way. So she walked, step by step. And with every step, the air grew colder, and the smell grew stronger. Then she saw the door. A heavy steel door, standing where there should have been a wall. It was open just a crack. And behind it lay darkness. Not ordinary darkness, something denser, something hungrier. As if the light was being swallowed at the threshold, every instinct told her to turn back. Every fiber of her body screamed at her to run. But behind her was only a locked door, so she pushed the steel door open. The hinge screamed like an animal. The room behind it could not exist. It was too large for the foundation of the building, the ceiling too high, the walls too far away. And in the center, on a simple wooden chair, sat a woman, a pale dress, dark hair hanging over her face. She sat completely still. Lena spoke to her. The woman raised her head, slowly, much too slowly. And behind the strands of hair, there was no face, no eyes, no mouth, no nose, just smooth, pale skin stretching over emptiness. Then something opened in that surface. Not a mouth, something else, a crack. And from that crack came a hum, deep and vibrating, a sound that Lena didn't hear in her ears, but felt in her bones. She ran, back through the hallway, past the flickering tubes, around the corner. She heard nothing behind her, no footsteps, no humming. But she felt it, a coldness creeping up the back of her neck, like fingers, like long, thin fingers. She pounded on the basement door. She screamed. Nobody came. And then, right behind her, so close she should have felt the breath, something whispered, not with words, not in any language that humans know, but she understood it anyway. You are not locked in. You are invited. She turned around. The hallway was empty. But at the end of the corridor, the steel door now stood wide open. And from the darkness came light. Warm, golden light. The smell of coffee. And a voice that sounded like her own said, "Come in. We have been waiting for so long." Lena stood between the locked world behind her and the warm light ahead. Her heart was pounding. Her hands were shaking. She took a step. The next morning, the janitor found the laundry basket. The basement door was open, as always. No steel door, no second turn, just concrete. Lena Bruckner was never found. Her apartment was tidy, the bed was made. A cup of coffee sat on the kitchen table, still warm, even though no one had brewed it. Weeks later, someone found chalk marks on the basement wall, 37 marks. And next to them, in Lena's handwriting, a single sentence. "It's beautiful here. Come join us."